Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to RPG Basics Part 30. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to add audio, so sound effects, into your game. If you already know how to do that, or if you've done it in your game already, then you can skip this video. But if not, I wanted to show the whole process, so that's why I'm showing how to do this. So in the description, there's going to be a link to some audio files. I just have a few that I created myself. I used the website bfxr.net. Okay, so this is a website that you can use to create your own sounds, random sounds. It's a nice website for creating sounds to put in your game as kind of like placeholders. I generally wouldn't, if you're doing like a pixel art, really retro game, then maybe these sounds would be great for a finished game. But if you're going to do something with a little bit higher production quality, I wouldn't recommend using these sounds in a finished game, but they work great as placeholders. You can see you can hit randomize to get a random sound. That one's actually a pretty cool explosion sound that I got there. But you can also click on any of these buttons right here, like jump, hit, hurt, power up, explosion, laser shoot, pick up coin, and it will get you a random variation of these. So it's a really quick way. Then you can mess around with these knobs if you want to adjust it a little bit as well. I'm actually going to download that explosion sound because that one's pretty cool. So sound, explosion. Maybe I'll use it in a game. Okay, now that you've done that, like I said, there's a link in the description for the sounds that I'm going to be using. I'm going to drag them into the game. So I'm just going to drag GameMaker over, select these sounds. And I think these are, yeah, those are the ones that I want. And I'm just going to click and drag them into the GameMaker window. It wants to know what kind of resource we want them as. We're going to say sound. And then we can maximize our screen again. And you can see I had already named these, so I'm just going to take off the initial name that GameMaker gives them. Like this. So sound experience, sound player takes damage. Sound sword attack. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 4 sounds. I'm not doing a lot of different sounds. Let me show you how to add them into the game. Come into our scripts, go into the player state. The very first one we're going to add in is the sword attack. So come into the attack state. Now we want to play this sound right at the very moment that we create our instance right here, our damage instance. And the function that you use to play a sound is called audio play sound. Now this function takes 3 arguments. It takes a sound ID, a priority, and whether or not it loops. So we're going to say, for the sound ID, we're going to say sound sword attack. For the priority, in the documentation, for the priority, GameMaker says you can use basically any number. However, a higher number will be prioritized over a lower number. So you might want to decide on a range. 0 to 1, or 0 to 10, or 0 to 100. I'm going to do 0 to 10 for this. And so for the sword attack sound, it probably will be a pretty high priority because it's our player attacking. So I'm going to give it a priority of 8. Then we decide whether or not this should loop, and obviously we want this to be false. So there you go. We've got audio play sound, sword attack. Let's run the game and see if it actually plays inside of our game when we attack. Get away. There we go. So we've got a little sword attack sound. And it plays when we attack. So it's probably not the best sound in the world, but it's a decent sound to start out with. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is a player takes damage. And I think the best way to do this, and the easiest way to do this, is right now we have a damage object. And it has its own collision with the player. So this will make it so that even no matter what enemy attacks us, whenever we lose hit points right here, you can see I just clicked on the damage object and the collision with the player. Whenever we lose hit points right here, we'll play this sound. So audio play, sound, sound, player takes damage. Priority, this will be, I'm going to give this a priority of 9. And then false for loops. Okay, let's do one for when we pick up an experience. So come to the player, or even a health pack actually. We'll use the same sound. You might want to do more, but I don't have more sounds. So we're going to say audio, play, sound, sound experience. We'll give this a lower priority. We'll give it a 6. False for loops. And I'm going to copy this right here and paste it into the collision with the health as well, so it'll play the same sound. Okay, so we have a sound for taking damage. We have a sound for when we attack. I have a sound for when the enemy dies as well. So we're going to do that. Come into the enemy and into the destroy event for the enemy. We're going to play this sound. Audio, sound, play. Sorry, audio, play, sound. There were so many different sound functions in GameMaker for a while there. They kept changing them. But it seems audio, play, sound is the most up-to-date one. So sound, enemy, die. We'll give this a priority of 5 and false. Probably you're never going to have to worry. The only time that the priority really takes place is when you get tons and tons of sounds playing at the same time. Our game doesn't have that kind of setup. We're probably never going to worry about that. So I'm going to copy and paste this into the destroy event for the enemy slime here as well. Because we don't have a parent for those, we have to put it in both of them. And then run the game. And I've got my controller plugged in, so hopefully my camera didn't get all messed up when I moved out of the screen. Okay, yeah, it looks fine. So let's see how this goes now. Let's take damage. Okay. We'll attack this enemy. There we go. It played its little die noise. And then we collected those. So even just with little basic sounds like this, they're not super great sounds. Like I said, I just pressed that random button to get these. So they're not super great sounds, but even with these, it really adds a lot to the game and makes the game feel a lot nicer than it did before. So see if you can find some good sounds for your game and add them in. And if you want more information on how you might control the volume of the sounds or control the pitch of the sounds, I actually have another video. I'll link that video inside of this video as well that goes into a little bit more depth about the different things you can do with sounds. I think I just alter the pitch slightly randomly. That way, if you're playing a sound over and over and over again, it doesn't get as boring to the player's ears because the pitch is slightly shifted. So I'll link that video in the description. Anyways, this is a short video, but thank you guys so much for watching. If it was helpful to you, please like it, share it on Facebook and Twitter, and I've got more coming. So I will talk to you guys later.